Hello. Hello. Week two. Two. Not four. Two.
Week 2.
Okay. Flip never happened.
Flip did not happen, no.
No.
And we were talking about this last night. My rankings would have been different had I known the flip not happened. And I think that is going to show in this week's.
Mm-hmm.
Just with how things fluctuate. Especially seeing as people that were involved in the flip are now not in the greatest position.
Yeah.
But yeah, crazy week. Eloi is the HOH. We saw him nominate Monet and Erin for eviction, with Erin as the target. Monet did win the veto to save herself, which forced Eloi to put up someone else. Initially, his plan was to put up Camilo, but after he told Molly this information and Molly ran it around to everyone and their damn mother, it got back to Eloi that Molly could not be trusted. So there was talks of possibly putting up Molly, but in the end, it came down to Haley, someone else that Eloi was not close with, but also, to their knowledge, which is correct, is connected to Molly. So,
and the campaign begins. Okay.
And the campaign begins. I'm very interested to see what happens. It's very, not that it's split. I don't think split's the right word. I think it's just up in the air.
Undecided, yeah.
I don't think this vote will be a split vote, but I think it is not a decided vote currently. Granted, the veto meeting also did just happen.
Yeah. Okay, let's get started. Eloi as the HOH this week. We'll go first.
So Eloi is the HOH. Last week, Eloi had a 7 from me and a 6 from you. For an average of a 6.5, was tied for the top score before.
I think this week was a positive week for Eloi. I feel like this was not a bad HOH reign. Especially in the beginning of the game, it's very easy to have bad HOH reigns. I think I would have been personally upset if he put Molly on the block. And then she eventually went home. So I think I'm glad personally he didn't do that. I think that was also probably better for his game not to make that huge move right now. And we'll get to Amina when we get there. But thankfully, Amina was like, I don't know if that's a good idea. And I was like, yeah, you tell him. So then now Haley's on the block. And I don't know. I think he wants Haley to go home, but I think he's kind of just like, you know.
Yeah.
But overall positive. Do you want to go first? Do you want to?
Yeah. No. Overall, I also agree. Positive week. The positive aspects of no one's walking away from this week going like, oh, Elio's a huge threat. And I think he has solidified more allies for himself. However, that also, I haven't seen that necessarily as his doing. Like, for example, the quadratic formula, that was Kailani making that alliance. And now Eloi has Charles on his side, and already had Kailani and Amina. So like there are more people, but he hasn't solidified them himself. So I don't feel that much greater about him than I did last week. But I don't feel any worse per se. He's thinking about the game. He's talking to his allies. I think people trust and like him. So I'm gonna just stay right at my 7, I think.
And I'm gonna go up to a 7. And this is the part we have to go
in. Yeah. Alrighty.
You do the thing, Scott?
Did
you do the thing?
Oh, I didn't do the thing. One moment.
This is our fun little spreadsheet of everybody's rankings. By the end of the season, it'll be full and it'll be like.
Alrighty.
Okay, it like takes a second.
Look at that.
So fun. Okay.
Who do we usually do next? Do we do the nominees?
Haley first because she's like the first slot nomination, and then Erin, then Monet.
Okay. Cool.
Usually do the final nominees first.
Haley. The
What was
flip
Haley
did
at?
not.
What was Haley at last week?
Haley was at a 6.5.
Okay.
7 from you, 6 from me.
Mhm.
Haley.
Well, I think the first bad thing that happened after her ranking last week was not following through with the flip. Which is upsetting. Not that it was like detrimental to her game, but like probably would have benefited her more to keep Hunter than Kailani.
For sure, especially seeing as Kailani is
Yeah,
the main
directly
person right now saying send Haley home.
Yeah. So that happened. And then also she like didn't talk to Eloi at all. So like I don't know if she's
That's really
shocked that
not
he's
at all.
replacement
And
on
granted,
it.
that's because Molly gave her the information that like, oh, you're not in the mix.
Yeah. So
and I think like there's a very good chance she goes home. Very good chance she goes home. My gut tells me that Haley is, based off of what we saw last week, Haley can make things happen.
But Haley can no longer make things happen if she's not in the game anymore.
Well, exactly. But Haley is still in the game currently and can make things happen. And the good news for her is she's going against Aaron, someone who's proven we don't know if Aaron can make things happen because Aaron hasn't said more than 10 words.
This is true.
So I do feel like good with by tonight. We're probably going to be seeing Haley staying around, maybe
so?
fingers crossed, but that involves 2 things. 3 things. 1, it involves Aaron not all of a sudden showing up. Pretty confident that that's going to stay.
She's like been, like showing up and actually showing up.
Showing up and actually, I mean, when I say showing up, I mean like showing up to campaign and do things and save herself. I don't see that happening in the next 8 hours, less than. 2, it involves people not wanting to just keep Aaron around because why wouldn't you just keep Aaron around? Which is kind of a likely scenario. That's Elio's argument. That's Kailani's argument. However, I think more people are leaning towards just evicting Aaron. And number 3, which is I think is Haley's biggest problem, is her closest ally, Molly. Because Molly just loves to cause waves. And currently, the more Molly just tries to cause waves, the more it's causing Haley to go home, I really feel like. So we'll see. Any thoughts? Do you want to give your score first or?
Yeah, it's so up in the air. Like I was gonna say I see her staying, but like I honestly don't know. But I think because of what she's shown last week, I'm only gonna go down to a 4.
I'm also only gonna go down to a 4. This is with the hopes that, I mean, like we're seeing right now, she is campaigning and she's not sending eggs. She is campaigning to everyone, but is not sending copied verbatim things, because that was her main flaw with Kailani's campaigning anyway. So like smart there. But yeah, she's definitely not locked. I wouldn't be surprised if next ranking we got here and Haley was not.
Dang.
I have a way with words.
So sad. It's an acute triangle. I could calculate the angle on that triangle. Anyway.
Cool.
Going to Erin. I don't have much to say about Erin. My favorite thing having to do with Erin this week was when was it Charles? Charles was like, we need to backdoor her. Like she's too much of a competition threat. I'm like, what is happening? This is so ridiculous.
One competition that is notoriously the competition that like you can win by not doing anything. Like,
okay, I'm sorry. All of these competitions, you do not have to be good at anything. Like you do not have to have like a specific skill set to win all the competitions. That's like when people call themselves comp beasts, I'm confused because like you just need to win multiple times and they're all different things. I don't understand. It's not like you're hanging onto a wall, actually. You're just like doing things. I don't like
it's literally the case of like you look at someone like Alex from season 1, did not win a singular competition.
Season 2 won like 2. Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm gonna stall while Scott comes back. La-di-da-di-da. I think he's having Wi-Fi problems.
Oh, okay, I'm back.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi is causing me problems. What was I saying before I?
Alex, season 1 won no comp. Season
Won
2
no comps.
won like 2.
Won a couple, and season 5 has the record for most. So
Yeah,
like
so
it
really
really does not.
Anyway,
matter.
so that was funny this week. Erin, I was initially going to give Erin a 1, except
I wasn't gonna go that low.
no, if I was being completely unbiased, like she deserves a 1. But there is a chance that she stays this week, so I will give her a 2.
Gotcha. I'm actually just gonna stay at my 3.
Oh, really?
Because, or do I go down to a 2? But I don't think it's
Like if she was locked going home this week, like I would 100% give her a 1.
See, if she was not going home this week, I would 100% give her a 2. I think this is the issue of, and this is going to be like, we're not doing rankings at the same exact time every week, so there's going to be a little fluctuation.
Yeah.
If we did rankings in a couple of hours from now, I probably would give Erin the 2, which is interesting. But at this current moment in time, I am just going to give Erin the 3 and call it a day.
Good to know. You just do the thing.
Oh, I keep forgetting.
We're gonna count how many times that happens today.
It's going to be 15 times.
Okay. Okay. Who's next? Monet.
Monet.
So fun.
So Monet.
Did a 4 from both of us last week?
4 from both of us last week. Was nominated on the block for the exact reason that she said she was going to be up last week when we said give her the 4. She has reached out to people, but it's all been very baseline, like, hey, how are you? I really have not seen any game from Monet. Even in her alliance chat, she's just kind of there. Like she's definitely the one that says the least. But it's clear that she is around because like she answers quickly when she's needed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like confused. She won the veto. She probably would have stayed had it been Monet versus Erin. However, I don't think it's.
You think?
Yeah, I think Monet definitely would have stayed. I don't think I think too many more people would have been pro Monet.
Okay.
But that being said, I don't think she has any standing in this game. So like, I'm frozen. Oh no, I'm not frozen. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna just stay on my 4 with Monet.
I'm gonna stay at my 4 too. With hopes of going up next week. You have to do the thing.
Alrighty.
Okay, moving on to Amina. Slay Queena. Ahmed.
Slay Queena. No, yes. So last week I was talking about how I thought Grace was.
Wait, why do I not see her? Hold on.
Did you not update it?
I did.
I can. Oh wait, Wait, hold on. Okay, now update it.
Let's try again.
I definitely did not put
box. Yeah.
in Michael's box.
Well, it still should have.
Well, now it's correct.
Okay, Amina had what last week?
Amina had a 6 from both of us.
Okay.
Amina is before last week I said I thought Grace is in the best position. And that was like yes, I think it's Grace, but also it could be Eloi, it also could be Michael. This week I am very confidently saying Amina is the person in the best position. She's got Charles right by her side and will like do anything for Amina. I don't know if Amina feels the same way after this week. We'll get to that when we get to Charles though. Amina has Eloi and Grace, who are now my favorite group of 3 age. Amina also has Kailani in Quadratic Formula, also has Cal, Monet, and Natalie in the Cookin', also has all of the girls apparently, has Michael, like Amina is insulated. Amina is also the person that I kind of see gaming more than others. Weirdly, this is not a very gamey cast, I really feel like. And that's why I feel like I'm inching off going to higher scores. It's because we yet to see any moves being made. The closest thing was Haley flipping the vote, which is exciting. Amina is someone that I feel like we could get there with eventually. I'm gonna go up to a 7 for Amina.
I'm gonna go to a 7 too. That was gonna be my goal. Yeah, I feel the same exact way. Age I love, and Amina I hope to keep going up on. So 7s from both of us. Yeah. Okay. Cade had
6s from both of us.
okay.
Kate is someone that I still feel really good about. I think Kate is well insulated and well liked. Makes his voice heard in the house chat so people like know he's around, but also talks individually with people. Has good relationships with Eloi and Michael, and I'm just waiting for them. They keep saying they're gonna form a group, and they still have not yet to do it, which boggles my mind a little bit. But it's insulated with them. It's insulated with Molly. Like people just like Cade. And I think Cade has good game sense. Cade has been the main person talking Molly off the ledge of like sending fake screenshots that Aaron and Grace are in an alliance to try and keep Haley. Like what? That makes no sense. So Cade, I feel good about. I'm just gonna stay at my 6 though. I don't think he's in a better position.
See, but I feel like this is a really good position to be in. Like, I feel like if pretty much anybody went HOH, nobody would be like, okay, I can use Kate. Like, I can put Kate up as a target, or like I can use Kate as a pawn. Like, I don't think that anybody would do that. Like,
I don't get me wrong. I agree with you there. I just don't think Kate has talked to enough people. Like when you're listing the people that Amina and Elio are connected to, that list is far longer than the list of people that Kate is connected to. And that's my only reasoning, not to influence your ranking.
yeah. I don't know. Okay, my gut tells me 7. I'm going up to a 7.
Nice.
And also not to be that guy, but since you gave the 6, I'll even it out. And we're in the middle. We'll compromise, I guess.
Yeah, remember that time when you asked me what my ranking was going to be because you wanted the end ranking to be this? I was like, no, you need to decide that.
Are you doing the thing?
No, but I am now. Already, Kate.
For anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, Scott is working the spreadsheet right now. So there's another Google sheet that controls this.
That updates the graph.
Okay, who's next? Cal.
Cal is next.
Kyle.
Yeah.
What was he at, or what were they at?
Cal was at a 6 from me and a 5 from you.
I feel like Cal is continuing to rub people the wrong way, which isn't good.
Cal's in a really interesting position. Point number 1, Cal thinks they're in a far better position than they are. You've got half the house though. Everyone knows that Cal is very well connected. And I don't think Cal knows that everyone knows that.
Because the flip was literally like, oh, Cal said not to do it. And that means that everybody doesn't want to do it. And I was like, okay.
The thing is, everyone knows it, but everyone is still kind of abiding to it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, for what? For why? Cal has continued to push some of their allies away though. Like Charles is not nearly as loyal to Cal now. Not even close. Definitely Molly and Haley and Michael and John not super down with Cal. So really interested to see where their position in the game goes. It really is split 50-50 where it's like you've got the people that are like, oh, Cal's a huge target. We need to get rid of them soon. But you also have the people that are like, Cal is my number. They're not going anywhere. So I was at a 6 last week. I'm gonna go down to a 5.
And I'm
But
gonna
I don't
stay.
think I can
I'm gonna stay at
justify.
my 5.
Yeah, I can't justify going low there because I don't see them as. Yeah, that's right. That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I'm doing the
You
thing.
do the thing.
I'm doing it now. I said it before you told me it counts.
Okay. Camilo was what?
Last week, a 5 from me and a 6 from you.
Yeah. You want to go first?
Yeah. I guess just jumping into it quickly. This week, Camilo's name was definitely in the pool of people that could have gone up this week. I do think he would have stayed in most cases, especially against Aaron.
Imagine if it was him versus Aaron. That would have been crazy.
That would have been really funny. So yeah, I also don't think that he hasn't done anything to worsen his game this week, but he also hasn't done anything to make it better game wise. He's just continued to upkeep social relationships, which is, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing for now. If anything, it's a good thing, but he needs to be doing it slightly more if that's going to be the strategy that you're playing. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying at my 5 again. I think there's a chance he's safe, but I still think there's a chance.
Yeah, because his name was
he
brought up this
goes.
week. I'm gonna also get down to a 5. But with that being said, I could really see him taking power with HOH very soon. And when that happens, like, your connections skyrocket when you become HOH, especially this early in the game. But I could see him, like, I could maybe see him winning tomorrow. Can I say this? Yeah, the word search competition. I don't know why I felt like I couldn't say that, but I feel it. Yeah.
See, now why do you say you think he can win that?
I don't know. He's pretty brainy. I feel like that's like his thing. Why?
Because this competition, I feel like it's not about being brainy, it's about being socially liked.
Oh, I forgot. Then you get knocked out. Yeah, okay. I am remembering this now.
Like I feel the opposite. I feel like he's a likely really cannot win unless he like steamrolls and gets all the words.
But I don't see people being like, oh,
I don't think he's going to be first to go. He's not anyone's targets, but he's not in anyone's inner circle of people that.
This is true.
Yeah.
Okay, I rescind my comment. Good luck anyway. But okay.
We'll see, though. I don't think it's impossible. I just think it's more unlikely. Yeah. You were saying?
Sometimes it like gives me an update button, and sometimes it refreshes. It's very annoying. Okay. Charles.
Jump to Charles.
Charles
had, I think, 5 from both of us. Let me double check. Yeah, Charles had 5 from both of us. Okay. So Charles is, I think, wanting to play. Charles is thinking right now as if we're at the final 7, final 6, when you need to be making these huge moves.
Charles is thinking this game is ending next week when we still got a month to go.
Exactly. So Charles is not being messy, but is spitting out 1,000 different ideas on things that really do not need to be happening now, and it is rubbing people the wrong way. Mm-hmm. On FaceTime with Amina, Eloi straight up said, if Kailani didn't make the quadratic formula chat, I would have put Charles up, no problem, and I would have been fine sending him home. And I think a lot of people feel that way. Kind of where I see Charles right now is he's well insulated enough to the point where I don't see him being anyone's target. But by that same token, if he is on the block, I don't see anyone that's like, we need to save Charles. Mm-hmm. So I was at a 5 last week. I would debate going down to a 4. I don't know if I'm that low yet.
I'm going to stay at my 5.
That's how I'm kind of feeling as well. I think he is well insulated enough. So I'm also going to stay at my 5.
Okay.
And I'm doing the thing.
Okay. Next is Grace going down to the bottom.
Grace. Last week, Grace had a 7 from me and a 6 from you.
Yeah. You want to go first?
That's funny. I was just reading Amina's DR. Yeah, I felt very, very confidently about Grace last week. And don't get me wrong, I still do, but I'm no longer in the mindset of like Grace is in the top position in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I still think she is well liked and well insulated, and definitely is not in any danger, but she's also not the one in control. If you're looking at the people in control right now, I really pin that as Amina and Eloi. So again, well insulated, and I think it's a good game sense, but is relying on other people to talk game. I feel like I haven't heard a lot of game come directly from her. It's been a lot of like, what do you think for your game, Eliav or Amina? Kind of things like that. So I'm gonna go down to a 6.
I'm gonna stay at my 6. I feel the same way. I like I feel like she's not the one that, yeah, you're right. Like she's not the one in control. She's not the one that's like the main proponent of like doing things, making decisions. But I think she could go up. I think that's not terrible. That's not bad for right now. It's only week 2. Did you do the thing?
Mhm.
Yes, you did. Okay. So yeah, I agree with that. John had what? 4?
John have, I think, 5 from both of us. Yes.
5, yeah. What do you think about John?
Well, let's start by talking with last week. I'm very frustrated with John because John is the reason, not just a reason, the reason why this flip did not happen. John is a very paranoid player, which isn't always a bad thing. It's better to be paranoid than to be overconfident. I mean, we saw Lily one.
And Aaron.
Yeah, Lily and Aaron. So can be a good thing. But it's paranoid to the extent of not making the move because you think people, it's just trusting what anyone says without actually thinking about the evidence. Cal said that they had 10 votes locked for Hunter. Great, you know you're in an alliance of 4 locked votes, and there are less than 14 votes. So you know that at least only one person is lying to Cal. So like that should have been something right there. And Haley said that, and John was still like, no, but people are lying to us.
And Haley was like, we have to do it, like we should still do it, like all day. And then she never anyway, keep going.
Well, because once Molly got on board with John as well, it was kind of a lost cause. Mm-hmm. So like and John hasn't made any more connections this week. I don't feel any better about John than I did last week going into this week. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, I feel the same way. But I don't think this is necessarily like the John goes low and then goes out. Like I feel like we could see
we could see ways. I'm just gonna stay at my 5.
I'm gonna stay at my 5 too, because I think it could go both ways. I'm
doing the thing.
Kailani is next.
Kailani. I'm confused.
Yeah.
I'm confused where Kailani stands. It's not in a great place. Let's get that out there.
She had 3s last week.
3s from both of us. And people, wrongfully so, are like, Kailani is so socially connected. And I'm like, okay, sure. Kailani is connected with the people that she knew coming into the game. But after campaigning last week, it's exactly what everyone said. She's not done, I think, anything to really like lock down these 13 allies that she like, you know what I mean?
And I think it's very likely that since she's already hit the block, that like people are gonna be like, oh, we'll just.
I think especially if Erin goes home this week and they're looking for someone else just to throw up there again, Kailani is the one to do it, to be up there. And Kailani is also the one that I think people want to target because there was almost a vote flip against Kailani.
Yeah.
She almost, and at one point was
unknowingly
going home unknowingly. She thinks she's totally fine.
And it was so true. Of course, she thinks that everybody was like gung ho to keep her.
Not the case, bestie.
Not the case. I'm going to go up to a 4.
Okay. I'm debating going up to a 4 or 5. This week, I'm only going to go up to a 4 because I think it is likely that she could just land on the block again next week. Mm-hmm. But if she doesn't next week, maybe going up to a 5. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Or seeing what happens. Did you do the thing?
No.
When there's an awkward silence, it means that I'm waiting for you.
Cool. Good to know. It is done.
Okay, Kailani with the highest increase, I think. Or no.
Of 1 whole point.
Or who is that? Amina.
No, yeah, I'll call. Oh, and Amina.
Yeah, okay. Michael had what?
I think 7 from me, 6 from you. Yes. Michael's a really interesting case. Because in terms of how people feel about Michael, it's definitely a 7. In terms of how much Michael actually texts people, it's more like a 5. And I'm just I don't know how to rank that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do know how to rank it because I have my ranking, but it is an interesting case where he is in a great spot without having said much of anything this week. I'm interested to see where he's going to land on this vote.
Yeah. So I had a 6. I think for Michael for this week, I'm going to stay at my 6.
I have Michael at a 7. And I think I'm actually going to stay at my 7.
Okay.
Because he is in one of the best spots in the game, but just hasn't said a bunch. So, yeah. Which is interesting.
Still recovering from food poisoning. Are you doing the thing?
Oh no, I forgot again.
Did you hear it? That was the awkward silence.
Mm-hmm. I felt it.
Oh shoot. Okay, there we go. Cool. Not in a very exciting graph right now. Except it kind of goes in like almost a rainbow order. That's kind of cool. Okay, Molly.
Oh, Molly Murphy.
I give her a 10 for entertainment purposes. Other than that,
I'm just like, babes, what you doing?
But she is so funny. Like I cannot.
She is so funny, but that's not
what she's delusional. Like she's delusional funny. Like Grace and Erin have a final 2, and that's a known alliance. What is happening? Like
no one ever said that. Not a single human being.
And it's not even like close to being true.
And she was so confident that Erin and Grace have a final 2. I just don't know. She was gonna get backdoored this week.
What were we at last week for her?
You were at a 7.
I stand by that. I stand by the 7 for last week.
So yeah,
it almost got her evicted this week. And I think it will get her evicted very soon.
I would be I don't know how much longer Molly Murphy has in this game because I don't know what Molly Murphy could do to save what's happening. Like there's not a world where Molly Murphy all of a sudden becomes
normal.
Like, you know what I mean?
No. Like sudden, rational.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So I think it's likely that she is targeted next week or the week following, like before jury. So I'm gonna go down to before.
I was also going to go to a 4, which is upsetting, and I hope I hope something happens.
Get ready for this drop.
Yeah, I hope that she goes back up and she stays, and somehow I don't even know how like she would turn this around, but rip. Okay, finally Natalie had
Had 4s from both of us.
okay. The thing with Natalie is like I think she just doesn't talk a lot in her DR. But I feel like she like gets around and talks to people.
She talked to more people this week than she did last week.
Yeah.
And people really, they just like Natalie. I think she gives off positive energy. I think the pink cowgirl hat is
Yeah.
a good thing.
It was
literally a thing that Eloi said. It was like, Natalie, we haven't talked a bunch, but I really like your vibe. I'm not putting you up this week. And I was like, great, cool, that's fun. And she has talked more with people. So I feel better about Natalie this week than I did last week. She's definitely not safe or controlling anything by any sort of the means. But
yeah,
I think there are now other people that are definitely going to be targeted and pawns before she is.
So I'm gonna go up to a 5 for Natalie.
I'm also giving Natalie a 5. And there we have it. So in total, this week,
You do the thing.
we've got in our top
You do
positions,
do the graph first. Do the graph first.
we've got Amina.
Do the graph.
Oh, graph first. Sorry. Yes. Okay.
Okay, there's our graph.
Wonderful. There we go. Okay. In our top spot for the week, we have tied Amina and Eloi with 7s, which I think is
Aren't they usually
exactly
green, or are they yellow?
correct. They are definitely are the two people that I think are most connected and controlling things the most. So I think that tracks. In our bottom spot, I mean, we kind of, I feel like, expected Erin to be here. I think and like low key hope she just goes. Nothing against Erin. She just
Yeah, I
is
agree.
bringing nothing to the game. And then you've also, of course, got Haley down there, Kailani, Molly, and Monet.
Cool. So eviction is tonight. When's the next eviction? Saturday. Saturday.
What's Tuesday? Yeah, Saturday.
And Saturday is also overnight check-in.
Oh, that's a fun one.
It's very exciting. Okay. So we'll see you on Friday-ish, probably Friday, Saturday, maybe. I don't know.
Friday or Saturday morning. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably Saturday morning, because if the video's not happening till Friday night.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
If I can figure out, here it is.